We are so freaking fracking back. Hello, Steeler Nation. Welcome to another episode of Steelcast, the podcast where you don't have to be a Steelers fan. But it sure does help. I'm your host, Zach. We get to do predictions again. Attack. And it's time for the 2024-25 season of the NFL. And it's time for week one predictions. Wow. Is that time already? Huh. That's crazy. Well, I'm recording this Thursday night, 2 hours just before the game is supposed to start. And the Ravens Chiefs. This is all totally fair. I'm not cheating at all. I've already made my picks in the pick'em league that I'm in, so it's just a late upload. But I will say this. I plan on doing much better than I did last year, and I think I can do much better than I did last year. And we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get fracking started. Let's get into the Thursday night football game, the week one season opener. You have the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. Last time these teams met, it was the AFC Championship game, and the Ravens completely forgot how to run the football. Now they have King Henry, so they shouldn't forget how to run the ball anymore. Although the other two running backs they did have, J.K. Dobbins and Gus the Bus Edwards, were shipped off to the other hardball in L.A. We didn't lose Patrick Queen this offseason. Thank you, Ravens, for getting us to him. Thank you. I will thank you as many times as I need to. But then there's and of course the Rapids. We hate the Rapids here in this household. But they got a lot better than they did last year, I will say. Although their O-line is weaker now because they all shipped off all their O-linemen. But then you have the Kansas City Chiefs. We have former Raven Hollywood Brown. And not just that, they won the Super Bowl last year with debatably the worst team they've had since Patrick Mahomes came in. And you know what else? They only got better over the offseason. Why does this keep happening? And guess what? They traded with the Bills. They traded up with the Bills again. First time to get Patrick Mahomes. And now it's going to get Xavier Worthy. The Bills, stop trading with the Chiefs! I hate the Bills. I hate the Chiefs. I hate the Ravens. I hate everything. This is so bad. I hate both of these teams, but I got to pick one to win. And I am going to pick the Kansas City Chiefs to win this one because I could spend forever talking about how bad I want both these teams to lose and all their acquisitions, and I could go on and on. But I'm just going to say it. I'm going to predict the Chiefs to win. I hate the Chiefs, but I hate the Ravens more. And after their revamped team from last season, I don't even think the Ravens throwing the ball is going to save them here. So I'm going to pick the Chiefs. The Ravens could win, but Chiefs, you get the win. And you're going to win the division. And we're all going to hope you burn in hell. Next up, we got the battle in Brazil on Friday night. You got the Green Bay Packers taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. And this is an interesting one, right? Because the Packers last season, like the last half of the season, got so good out of nowhere. And the Eagles, the last half of the season, got so bad out of nowhere. Well, actually, it wasn't out of nowhere. They had Matt Patricia as their DC, so I guess it makes sense. Um, but then you got a new regime, um, better offensive acquisitions with Saquon Barkley, just to name one. You got Kenny Pickett in a trade with the Steelers. You're welcome. Take good care of him. And then you still got AJ Brown. Still got Jalen Hurts. Your O line's a little bit weaker because Jason Kelsey retired, but you still got it. You still got a solid O line. Your secondary is still questionable, but should be better than it was last season. Um, as the Packers, they're a legitimate Super Bowl contender now. They're legitimate now. They got a really young offense, a lot of young talent, and they're all really good talent. Joe Barry is not in the building anymore, so the defense should be better. It's gonna be crazy. They even revamped the secondary with people like Xavier McKinney. Um, it's gonna be a really, really close game. I'm gonna say it. I am gonna predict the Eagles to win. However, I do feel like they have a better team, and I know they're gonna want to play because the Super Bowl window. There's like another team in the NFC that I'm not going to mention right now is dwindling. So, um, Eagles, you get the win, and good luck with the remainder of the season. And now the first of many Sunday games. You got the Pittsburgh Mother Loving Steelers taking on the Atlanta Falcons. And both teams got new quarterbacks, old ones at that, but can still play their hearts out this offseason with good backup options, good defenses, revamped O lines. But who's going to be the better team? We're going to start with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And the Steelers got Russell Wilson on the vet minimum from the Broncos. And Russell Wilson, follow time is catching up with him rapidly, but he's still got some left in the tank. He's not as mobile as he once was, but he's still a good passer. He's still got that loaded cannon arm. Um, and he's a Super Bowl quarterback. So he's basically just another Big Ben, another old Big Ben, basically. And then you got Justin Fields, very solid backup option. Running back tandem, Najee Harris, Jalen Warren, debatably a top 5 tandem. A top 5 defense, led by Minka Fitzpatrick and TJ Watt. Steelers looking pretty good this season. Whereas the Falcons, they did a lot. Their dumbest move was drafting Michael Penix. Like, we're all going to make fun of him for that because that was like the stupidest decision ever. You had Roma Dunze right there for the taking. And then you had that corner from Oregon. No, not that corner from Oregon. That was last offseason. And then you had no corners or defensive players were taken yet. You could have taken one of those, but no. You had to go with the sexy pick. In all seriousness, no. I'm going to pick the Steelers to win this game. Out of bias, I am not going to go against my team ever. But I still think the Steelers can win this game. But I will note that Russell Wilson might not play due to a calf injury. So it might be Fields starting. We don't know yet. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, if Russell Wilson doesn't play, I hope he gets better soon. But maybe Fields might outshine. You don't know. We don't know yet. Fields could be the new Steelers quarterback. We don't know yet. So, we'll see what happens. I will admit I have a lot less faith in our offense if Fields is starting. But Russell Wilson could suck. And Fields had all the preseason reps you could ask for. So, yeah, we'll see. Next up, you got the Arizona Cardinals taking on the Buffalo Bills. The Cardinals getting Kyler Murray back, drafting well with Marcus Harrison Jr. Round 1. You got a lot of other nice, solid acquisitions as well in the offseason. You're definitely retooled. You got a lot going for you this season. I don't know if it's going to be enough to get a playoff spot, but at the very least, you'll be a little bit more competitive than you were last season. As for the Bills, they lost everyone. They literally lost everyone. Uh, Granted, most of them were injury prone, so it wasn't that bad. But losing Stephon Diggs was definitely a very, very big blow. I don't know, second half of the season he didn't produce anything, but that's not the point. I will say though, Keon Coleman was definitely not a bad acquisition. I feel like the Bills figured in the draft that Xavier Worthy this was going to be another John Ross, a bust speedster, but it ain't looking like that right now. I will say. Um, we'll see though. I don't. The Bills could still very well win the division. It's going to be a lot harder to, but they definitely still could. I'm going to pick the Bills to win this game just because it's the Cardinals, and we don't know how good the Cardinals are going to be. Whereas the Bills could still win games even with their current roster. So I am going to pick the Bills to win. But yeah, I don't have any faith in either of these teams this season. Next up on the list, you got the Tennessee Titans taking on the Chicago Bears. Both of these teams had stellar off seasons. The Titans getting a lot of good tools to revamp their offense and their defense especially. Now Will Levis also has people to throw the ball to. Although I will say they're going up against a very good defense in the Chicago Bears, which we don't really know how the Chicago Bears are going to be. They got Caleb Williams, which they desperately needed a quarterback. They got a lot better on the offense. It's tough. It's definitely tough to say. I don't really know. Like these teams are very evenly matched. It doesn't really look like it, but they're very evenly matched. Uh, young QBs, stellar defenses, retooled offenses, but who's going to come out on top though? Is the question. And I'm actually going to pick the Tennessee Titans to win this game. It's really weird, but after what the Mailman put on last season, even though it was like a late second half rookie campaign, he still put up solid numbers. So I'm actually going to pick the Mailman and the Titans to win this game, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Bears came away with this one. Next up, you got the New England Patriots taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. The kitty goes meow. The Patriots rebuilding this offseason, as they have been ever since Tom Brady retired. But they got Drake May. They're going to be starting Jacoby Brissett. They lost Matthew Judon in a trade to the Falcons. I'm really looking forward to going up against Matthew Judon. Anyways, I do like what the Patriots did in the offseason, but it's not going to be enough to win them a whole bunch of games. They got to do a lot more than just what they did if they want any chance of getting back to their old ways. They better not. And then you got the Cincinnati Bengals. And the Bengals with a healthy Joe Burrow are legit contenders. And this might be like the final chance they have having a good solid run. Because now you got to pay Jamar Chase next offseason. You're not going to be able to keep T. Higgins around. Your defense is falling apart as you speak as you keep losing pieces from them. So, yeah, this might be the last chance the Bengals have to make a serious run. But I'm going to pick the Bengals to win this game. They get off to a good, solid start. And, yeah, we shall see what they decide to do from there. Because the kitty will likely, as long as Burrow stays healthy, will go meow. Then you have the Houston Texans. Oh, excuse me. The Strouds taking on the Indianapolis Colts. The Texans uh, blew everyone out of the water last year. C.J. Stroud, Rookie of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year. Will Anderson, Defensive Rookie of the Year. Holy crap. That team was unstoppable. And then the divisional round of the playoffs happened. But anyways, the Texans looking to continue that hot streak and win the division again and potentially make a Super Bowl push, which they can with the new acquisitions of Stephon Diggs, as well as many other acquisitions that they made as the season went on. And then the Indianapolis Colts, you don't really know what you have in Anthony Richardson, but as long as you have him and Jonathan Taylor and the defense that you do, you might be okay. But I am going to pick the Texans to win this game. I do have a lot more faith in them than I do because the Anthony Richardson, we don't really know what you have in him yet. So Texans, you win the game, and you start out your season strong once again. Then you have the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Miami Dolphins. The Jags extended and paid the big bucks to Trevor Lawrence. And the Dolphins, they did the same to Tua. Now you just gotta hope and see what your quarterbacks can do with the money that they've earned or are earning. T-Law over with the Jags, he's got the team to make a postseason push, but with the way he's been playing, he's not really been able to do that. Although he does have the team, so now he doesn't really have any excuses. Whereas with Tua, same thing, except to a much higher scale because he's got more weapons around him, things like Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, and the defense is better than the Jags, in my opinion, although you do have some people out with injury. And then you did lose Christian Wilkins to the Raiders this offseason, so yeah, that's a big blow. Although I am going to pick the Dolphins to win this game early on in the Battle of Miami. I do believe that the Dolphins are just the better team rounded out, and they should get the win here. Then you have probably the first ugly game on this list, debatably. You have the Carolina Panthers taking on the New Orleans Saints. It's going to be really bad, isn't it? The Panthers, regretting not taking Stroud first overall, so they haven't stuck with Bryce Young. But they did make a good few acquisitions, getting Deontay Johnson. Now they don't have an old receiver. And they got a few other acquisitions as well. So they got Miles Sanders back there in that backfield. Bryce Young looking to make up for his terrible rookie campaign. Although they did beat C.J. Stroud in the regular season, so they still have that they can uphold. Then you have the Saints and Derek Carr, and literally everyone on that team is injury prone. Literally everyone on the team is injury prone. They can never stay healthy. They're always losing, and it's just rough with the Saints. They did get better over the offseason. It's just like, what can you do? What can you do at this point? When all your team gets just hurt, like week 1. And then you have no one for the remainder of the season. Yeah, it's terrible over there. I am going to pick the Saints to win this game because Derek Carr is still Derek Carr. And they do have a better offense and defense overall. But I don't have much faith in either of these teams in the season. I just don't. And then you have the Minnesota Vikings taking on the New York Giants. Vikings, I'm so sorry you lost your Jimmy McCarthy to injury. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. There's not really much you can do about it, except for start Sam Darnold and hope and pray that he can win you some games. And you still could, because your offense isn't terrible. You still got a lot of good solid pieces on your offense, like Justin Jefferson. Your defense, being coached by Brian Flores, is definitely going to help you out. Whereas the Giants, you just suck. Your D line is going to be fine, but outside of that, you just suck. You don't have Saquon Barkley anymore. Danny Dimes is still your quarterback, and you have receivers now, but who's throwing them the ball? So I'm gonna pick the Vikings to win this game, but this might be like the one game of like just a small handful that they're actually gonna win. Next up, you have the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the LA Chargers. Both these teams having crazy off seasons. The Chargers getting new coaching staff. The Raiders still trying to figure it out. But both have pretty solid offenses and defenses. It's all just going to be a matter of which quarterback plays better. And honestly, I'm going to pick the Raiders to win this game. I'm going to be honest. Because Gardner Minshew did pretty well with the Colts. And he didn't really have a whole lot of weapons. But now he can throw the ball to debatably better weapons. And he's got Devontae Adams to throw the ball to now. So, what do I know? So yeah, Raiders, you should get this win and continue on with the winning streak. Next up, you have the Denver Broncos taking on the Seattle Seahawks. Both of these teams hate each other because of the Russell Wilson trade, which the Seahawks ended up winning that trade. Broncos, it's time for you to believe in Bo Nix. You didn't start and play a single preseason snap, so we're all going into this completely and totally blind. I will say, hopefully he's good, but again, you just have to believe. As for the Seahawks, they got Legion of Boom 2.0. So, yeah. They do have a better offense now. But Geno Smith is still their quarterback, so they got to figure out their quarterback situation at some point. Because Geno Smith is not going to be the future there. And that's like the only thing they need before making a true Super Bowl run. So, Seahawks, you win this game. But please, after the season is over, get yourself a quarterback. Please get yourself a quarterback. Please. Then you have the Washington Commanders. Wait, no, that's the game. You have the Dallas Cowboys taking on the Cleveland Browns. The Cowboys, great regular season team, terrible postseason team. The all-in announced from Jerry Jones, not in effect at all. Not in effect at all. They still basically like the same squad from last season. Which is good, but they got a lot of contracts to figure out. So it's gonna be tough from here on out. As for the Browns, you got better, and Nick Chubb's gonna be back at some point, right? Don't kill him again, please. We still got LaShawn Watson as your quarterback. You got Jameis Winston as the backup. You got famous Jameis. Your defense is better, but is it gonna be enough? I don't know. Your offense is gonna do anything against the Cowboys defense. I can already promise you that. So Cowboys, you win this game. And we all just burn in purgatory this garbage game. Then you have the Washington Commanders taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Commanders actually having some expectations, teeny tiny bit. You got Jalen Daniels as your quarterback, and you got a lot of better stuff for your offense. You trade Jahan Dotson for whatever reason. I don't know what the point of that was, because now you don't really have any receivers, but you still got a good running tandem. And you also have solid defense. Is it the best? No, but it's not a terrible one. And then you got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which with Baker Mayfield last year actually looked like a pretty solid team. A lot of people were counting out the Bucs, but they showed up last season and won a playoff game. So what do we know? I see this season being no different. They're competing with Atlanta for the division, and I do see the Buccaneers winning this game and coming out on top. So, Bucks, you get the win, and your division title starts now. Next up, you got the Sunday night game. LA Rams are taking on the Detroit Lions and the Stafford and Goff revenge game 2.0. This game, this game is going to be insane. The Lions, for the first time since like the 1950s, have actual championship expectations. That came out of nowhere. No one expected that in 65 years, the Lions would finally be done with a rebuild. And now look like a Super Bowl team. Make the NFC Championship game. In the first time since the Barry Sanders era. Wow. Just wow. I do have the Lions winning this game. The Rams, they got a good offense and the defense now. They've completely retooled everything. The retirement of Aaron Donald sucks, but they completely retooled everything and they've rebuilt. So, Rams are definitely going to be better. The Lions are going to be better. But I do have the Lions winning. Sorry, Rams, but the Lions got to go to the Super Bowl. They just do. The last NFC team. Not the last team in general, but the last NFC conference team that has not made the big game yet. So, Lions, do it. Do it for all of us. Please. Then you have the New York Jets taking on the San Francisco 49ers. The Jets going up against Leonard Floyd again. You know, the guy that tore Rodgers' Achilles 4 snaps into the regular season last season. And guess what it was on? Monday Night Football. Which what this game is on. It's going to be so bad. I think the devs hate Aaron Rodgers, which I don't blame them. I hate him too. Super Bowl 45 still haunts me my nightmares. Anyways, the Jets retooled O-line, hopefully. Some offensive weapons. Better, so good defense. Hassan Reddick is just choosing to sit out though. Don't know why, but Hassan should just play. Hassan should just play, but I guess you gotta show him what you got first. But yeah, hopefully Rodgers doesn't get an Achilles tear 4 snaps this game. And then the 49ers, Super Bowl aspirations are literally dwindling as we speak. Because you gotta pay Purdy next season, and it's just, this might be the last time we have the whole game together. So 49ers I'm gonna pick the 49ers to win this game. I believe they can beat the Jets. I know they can beat the Jets. And they really want to get this win because I know that they really want to get the Super Bowl. And getting a high seed would definitely help with that. So 49ers, you win this game. And maybe, just maybe, you'll get the big one. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. Who do you have winning week 1? Let me know. I am Zach Attack. I hope you all have a glorious day. Make sure you join the Discord that my mods and I have created down linked in the description below. And I'll catch you on the flip side. And as always, you're in Steelers country.